Good morning, guys. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Yesterday was Christmas. Uh, About to make this video just like the title says. Summary, basic training tips, what to expect at basic training, obviously, for the Army. Although I will tell you this, all basic trainings at their core foundations are the same at any branch. So, I mean, maybe if you're in a different branch and you watch this video, I guarantee you could still probably take something away from it. But, so I got back a week ago from Fort Jackson. I'm on VBL right now, Victory Block Leave, because of Christmas. So the Army gives you a 2-week break for Christmas. And yeah, so that's why I'm home right now. I'm technically not done with basic training, but I have met all the graduation requirements to complete basic training, which technically makes me and all my battle buddies that I had with me in my whole battalion, in my company, and the whole battalion I'm in, that technically we're all done with basics. So we just have like a week and a half left and we graduate. So we've done all the big things, all the small things that we needed to do to finish basic training. So let me give you a quick summary of basic training. It's essentially what you expect. Like, you guys have watched videos on YouTube, you guys have talked to people, and it's essentially that, you go in there, you're working all day, every day, from morning to night. You're training, you're doing PT, you're working out, you're marching, you're getting yelled at sometimes if, you're messing up. And you're developing relationships with your peers over there. And so it's not bad. Basic training isn't bad. You know what? Depending on who you talk to, I've realized this, is some people oversell it and some people undersell it. Your recruiters will definitely undersell it. They'll definitely, and not to say basic training was hard, because it's not, but it had aspects that were challenging, whether for some people it was the mental aspect, and we'll come back to this one. This is a big part I want to speak about, by the way, the mental aspect. And for some people, the physical aspect was the hard part, and for some people it's just a social aspect. So it all depends who you are personally, where those challenges are gonna they're gonna meet you. But you talk to your recruiter and you'll ask and be like, how's basic? What do I need to do? And they'll be like, oh, you don't need to do nothing. All you got to do is show up. And to some degree, that's true. All you do need to do really is show up. But there are things you can do prior to showing up to basic, that will make your basic training experience better. So let's talk about that really quick. PT, basic training, unlike the rest of the trainings around the military, at its core, PT, physical training, that's your main thing, what you're going to be doing. So listen to this. If you're not in really great shape, if you struggle when you run a couple miles, when if you do push-ups and it's hard for you, train before you go. Let me tell you why. Because at basic, they're going to have you doing a lot of things. And PT is one of those things. So when you're not passing your PT test and they give you a little downtime, instead of maybe relaxing or writing a letter, or not to say you can really get a lot of relaxation time, but maybe just sitting down, or whatever it is, maybe doing your laundry, whatever it is they allow you to do, instead of being able to do that, you're now a part of a supplemental PT group, or you got to do PT on your own. Me and a lot of other guys that were passing our PT tests were doing PT on our own anyway, because you want to excel. You never want to meet the bare minimum. So, but we didn't need to do that. So doing PT at that point was for fun and was for us. But if you're not passing your PT, if you're not meeting your minimum push-ups, sit-ups, and run, you're always stressing out. You're like, oh man, am I going to be able to pass my PT test? Am I going to be able to pass my PT test? And guess what? A lot of people don't say this to you, but people do get recycled in basic training. You do get to a point at basic training where you have that final PT test, and if you don't pass it, you get recycled. They restart you over to a certain point, and it's like 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. So it's like, and I mean, basic training wasn't hard or bad, but it's like definitely not fun. You know what I mean? So like some parts are fun. Like you meet, you make new friends, and you guys do certain activities, and those things are fun. But like me personally, maybe other people will disagree with me. I would say basic training wasn't fun. I didn't have like fun. I went and I trained and I learned a lot, and I became more disciplined, became stronger, faster, and all those things. But fun wasn't the top 5 things that I had at basic training. So I lost my train of thought before I got here. Dang. But yeah. So PT, definitely wanna train for PT. So train hard. Like if you show up to basic, being able to crush a PT test, at least being able to do your minimum, your 60, 60, 60 across the board. Figure out what's your minimum for your age bracket. You can just Google that. Obviously, that's pretty easy. And then just do that. It'll be very easy for you. The second thing, how to prepare. These rest of the things you really can't prepare like you can for the PT, but just familiarizing yourself with these things will help you. Familiarize yourself with what land navigation is. Basic training, land nav isn't huge, but it's still a part of it. So maybe just watch a video on land nav. There's like a 6-minute video out there that I watched before I went to basic, and it's not gonna like, you're not gonna be an expert at land nav if you watch this video, but you're gonna hear the terminology that this sergeant used in his video, and when you go to basic, you're gonna hear that same terminology. So guess what? When you get there, these words aren't brand new to you. You're like, okay, I've heard this. This is what this is, you know? An M4, how to properly handle an M4, how to be safe with it. We had some girls and guys that were very unsafe with their M4, and they got ripped by a drill sergeant. So just make sure you keep your weapon pointed down. Let's talk about, here's another thing. This is the biggest thing, I think, that'll help you out in basic training. It's actually 3 little things, but here it is. Be in the right place, at the right time, in the right uniform. They tell you got to be down in formation at 0700, for example. You obviously got to be there 10 minutes early. In OCPs, don't forget. Don't try to wear your PTs under your OCPs. Just not worth it. You're going to be that guy that's looked at as lazy, that just like doesn't, just like wants to wear your PT socks under your OCPs. If your drill sergeant sees that, he's gonna rip you apart. And also, like, how much time did you actually save? 30 seconds, 45 seconds? Like, it is just not worth it. To me personally, there were a lot of people doing that at basic, so I didn't like that at all. The drill sergeants will be rough on you, obviously, when you first get there, especially during red phase. They're not trying to get to know you. They're not trying to be your friend, and they're just, it's that discipline phase. So they're gonna be extra tough on you. I mean, you take one step out of the way you're supposed to, you're gonna get reamed, you're gonna get talked to. But as the phases go by, you get into white phase, you get into blue phase, you complete that last field training exercise. The drill sergeants will slack off on you at this point. Once you complete all basic training requirements, you technically are a soldier. So at that point, they're like really they're expecting you to do the right thing at that point. So why should they be there all the time? So, yeah. What else? Okay, let's jump back to that mental aspect. So guys, listen up. If you know personally you are not mentally capable of handling stressful situations and going through a stressful environment for 10 weeks, please do not put yourself through the military. Just don't. Because, like, you can go to your recruiter. You can maybe, I don't know, I'm just going to say, you could lie. Maybe you just don't know. You can't handle that. So maybe you just don't know, and you go to your recruiter, and you go through MEPS and all that, jazz music, and you say no. But then you go to basic, and you break down. So please do not put yourself through those things. Just prepare yourself mentally. Know that, hey, I'm not going to have my phone. I'm not going to be able to talk to my family, my girlfriend, my boyfriend. I'm not going to, whatever it is that really kind of help. If it's like something material that helped you relax and relieve some stress, remember, you're not going to have that once you're at basic. So you got to, in your own head, kind of like help yourself relax, chill out, this and that. So how to prepare yourself, remember PT, look up some videos, familiarize yourself, like just know that you're going to be doing a lot of marching when you're there. So if you got a nice pair of boots, fill up a backpack, put like 30 pounds in it, and just go march for a few miles. Just go walk, literally just go walk for like 3 or 4 or 5 miles. Toughen up your feet if you don't have like rough feet already. But yeah, let's talk about what was easy in basic and what was hard. The easy thing in basic was the trainings in basic training. So all the trainings you had to do, the shooting, the marching, the whatever it is they have you do, the victory tower. I'm afraid of heights. The only reason I'm saying this is because I know some of my buddies from basic will watch this and they know I'm scared of heights, so I'm not even going to front like I'm not. I am. They make it seem worse than it actually is, but it's not. I'm just, a little nervous when I'm off the ground. So all these things, the gas chamber, don't worry. Don't let anybody talk it up like, oh man, it's going to suck. Don't listen to those kind of people. Those kind of people are just trying to make it seem more bad than it actually is so they can seem a bigger badass or a tougher person. Don't listen to it. Go to basic and come out of basic, and then have somebody ask you how basic is and look at them and say it was too easy. It isn't easy, but you make them seem that way, and that'll make it seem like you're the tough guy, that you did something that was actually kind of difficult and it was easy for you. Not if you go to basic and you come out of basic, or you're at basic and you're just like, man, this is so hard, like, oh, people, da-da-da. Don't be that person. I mean, you can if you want, but me personally, I already know what kind of person you are if you're doing that. So the trainings were actually the fun part and the easy part, because like it took up most of your day, and you went and you were actually learning how to do things like that civilians and like other people that aren't with you were not learning how to do those things. So those are definitely the easy parts. The hard part was getting along with everybody, being away from family. Especially the first one, getting along with everybody. You're going to meet people from all walks of life, people with different mentalities on how they are, how they want to handle things, how their personalities are. I didn't mesh well with a lot of people when I first got there, just because my mentality, my personality, and how I thought. I'm like an aggressive guy, so I thought everything, we should just tackle it, ready to go. But basic definitely told me like, whoa, slow down, look at it, listen to other people. And so so definitely humble yourself. Don't show up all like you're the coolest thing since sliced bread, because sliced bread is pretty cool and you're probably not cooler than that. So I would say that was probably the hardest part, and was getting along with everyone. I don't want to make this video too long, so I want to touch on one more thing, is MOSs. You're not going to be able to stand out much at basic training just because you're all at basic and you guys are all doing the same thing. But what you can do, guys, is once you go to your MOS, whatever that might be, that's where you're going to stand out. So learn your job and learn it well. That's all the drill sergeants ever said to us. Figure out what your job is, and when you get there, learn as much as you can and stay on top of your PT. When you get to your unit, do your job well and crush PT. That ranking system, you're going to fly up it, Don't, you're a soldier now. Act like a soldier. Be a soldier. Be proud of what you're committed to. And I want to touch on 09 Sierras, all the kids that are going to OCS. I know, like, might not be a lot of people watching this that are going there. Listen, guys, for you personally, you need to hold yourself to a higher standard, because the Army is going to hold you to a higher standard. So I know I said early on in the video, hey, listen, minimum PT score, that's what you're shooting for. That does not apply to you. I mean, maybe if you're really that out of shape, maybe definitely shoot there to start. But I had kids that were 09 Sierras that were maxing out the PT score and in the extended scale. Like, they were at 330, 320. Like, it was ridiculous. So, doing the right thing all the time. That's you. That's the 09 Sierra. Those are the people that are going to OCS. You can't lead a platoon and try to tell them about PT if you're rocking a 200 PT score, a 210 PT score. You know, I got like right under 260, and I don't like it. Like, I'm like, man, that's not good. I gotta get mine up to 280, 290. I gotta max it out. I can't go up to my platoon and be like, hey guys, we gotta move fast. And they won't say it to you, but they're gonna think like, how's this PL, how's this lieutenant trying to tell me to move fast when, you know, has a 200 to even a 260 PT score? How are you going to tell me that, right? You don't want that. It's not a good look. So for the 09 Sierras, raise the bar for yourself before you get there. They do it for you, because they will do it for you. But if you already have that bar raised for yourself, you're going to succeed. I hope I covered enough, guys. You know, just like when you do something, you can't remember all the little things you were doing. Basic isn't bad. Basic training isn't bad. I like the Army. I like it so far. And I really can't wait to go finish up basic, wrap it up, graduate, go to OCS, go to BOLC, and get my own unit. And, you know, as the weeks go by, I'm definitely going to make a series. I don't know if you guys know who Kid Thunder is. Kid Thunder 2 on YouTube. Shouts out to him. He made a series through OCS, but he went through, I think, like early 2017 or late 2016, and I watched all those videos. So, and it really helped me a lot. That's why I'm making these videos, is because I used to watch a lot of these videos, people talking, telling you what to do and how to do it. And so, once I get to OCS, I'm gonna make that series. But until then, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Keep training, guys. Keep working out. Eat right. Don't go ham on pizza. And Army hood.